Hello again. Today's footage is courtesy of some friends up in the Bellevue area. They purchased a house and it has a whole lot of gravel on it. And they didn't want the gravel. So they offered it to us if we would help them remove it, so we did. Before we get to that point, obviously, I have to get me a fire going. Mostly just because it's fun. And at this point, I'm just playing with the smoke, seeing, you know, just enjoying the fact that you can burn the smoke and it just disappears. So I've got the fire going through the bottom, nice and quick. It's a good, easy way to do it. It's actually a cost-free way to do it for us because that particular tank of propane was given to us because the tank is so old that you can't refill it. And they didn't have any, the friend who gave it to us didn't have any devices that are capable of being connected. I have a garden dragon, obviously, that can be connected to that old style. So also, today this is the first footage that I have where I am actually able to use the tripod mount that we got. So clearly you get to see things from a very different angle perspective now. So what we've got going on is the dump trailer is mostly full. It's probably got close to 2,500 pounds, maybe even 3,000 pounds of rock. And we are trying to see if we can unload it without dumping it on the ground because shoveling gravel is really crappy work. It's just horrible. So we're trying to just let it fall into the wheelbarrow, and we're only filling the wheelbarrow part way because a wheelbarrow full of gravel is extremely heavy. And half a wheelbarrow full of gravel is about manageable. Some of them were a little over half and got a little bit difficult to push up this little bit of an incline. But the boards here are nice and solid, actually. They they are there from when I drove the tractor over them, so I know they can handle about 1,500 pounds without a problem, because each tire of the tractor weighs roughly that. So we got a few loads, and then we dumped them and spread them around. Kind of try and walk on them and smash them down into the mud. And the whole point and the whole goal here is just that, trying to get rid of the mud. Apparently we knocked over the camera. Sorry about that. So this is a fantastic use for this gravel. It's a little river rock, and you can see it's also a fantastic time to have a wireless remote for the dump, so I can just stand there and hold the wheelbarrow in place and dump further, and we just kept working our way back. It's really nice to be able to walk back there now. The trail before was constantly I every time I walk around carrying a board or something, I'm stepping gingerly and I'm basically treating it like I'm walking on ice because it was just, the mud gets so slick because it's got so much clay in it. There's actually a few spots here where we have already started to notice that it's getting pushed down into the mud a little bit too far, so we've got at least one more load that we're going to go get from them, maybe two more. They aren't entirely sure if they're going to be getting rid of all of the rocks, because they've got some in their front yard and some along the side of their backyard, and this is all the rocks from one side of their backyard where they had a bunch of little shrubs and things. So here we're just trying to decide what to do about these little blueberries. They were planted here before we ever thought about putting a trailer camper here, and they're kind of in the way and going to die. So I've been pretty good about actually avoiding them as I've been working around them. Um, but we've learned that the blueberries need a little bit more attention than what they're getting in this particular spot. And they were actually given to us for free when we first moved here, and we didn't even have any idea of what we were doing for the property. So I believe Emily came back through later and cut them down, but it is what it is. You can see here on the right, there's my table saw up in the end of the trailer, and that was positioned there specifically so that it would blow sawdust out into this muddy area here where I had to dig up for the water line to get this water spigot. And that has turned out to be a great thing to do. So it makes it so that it's not muddy there, and when eventually there will be a porch that'll cover that. It'll actually come out just past where the water spigot is, but that'll be, down the road. I got to get the siding up, and I don't know. I might actually make the porch before I put the flooring and door wall into the trailer, because then I can have a spot where I could lay down some carpet or something to help make sure we're not tracking mud into the trailer. But we just kept going little by little bit, and every time we'd get a little bit closer, we would just raise the dump trailer a little bit further, and it worked quite amazingly. I'll show you at the end. There's only very little that we spilled, and that was because I had the button pressed just too long, and there's sometimes it's just a little bit of a delay in the response. So it was going up, and I let go of the button, and it kept going up for like half a second, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, I don't know. But it ended up spilling a little bit. So we ended up scraping up a fair amount of that. I think we got about a half a wheelbarrow off the ground from that, and then just spread the rest out, and I ended up just letting it blend in with the gravel that I threw down on the road. Yeah, see, there we're shoveling that right now, which is quite awkward. I hate shoveling gravel off the ground. It happens way too often because we need lots of gravel. So you can see we actually got like this whole entire area covered in gravel. And one of the nice things, coincidentally, about this gravel is because it's river rock, it's not going to create a solid surface like the crushed gravel would, but that way we don't plan on it staying gravel. It'll just help firm things up. But as always, thank you for watching. Next time we'll show some footage of laying gravel down on the driveway, actually using the dump trailer and the wireless remote. So hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for your time. God bless you and yours.